had the market been allowed to correct itself previously, a lot of problems that we see today wouldn't happen. Like an economic downturn isn't just, the market deciding to take a shit for no reason. It's reacting to something. It's reacting to malinvestments in the economy and correcting that. The problem, it's like a cold, right? When you get sick, what does your body do? It heats up. It gives you a fever, but that's the body's way of getting rid of the disease. It wants to burn the disease that's making you sick to death, right? That's sort of what a recession is supposed to be. It's burning away the bad investments and giving us a reset in the economy so we can start again on a better footing. What the Federal Reserve does every time that happens, though, is they see the fever and they're like, oh, we need to stop the fever. That can't be allowed to happen. So they stop the fever. You no longer feel sick because you're not burning up anymore. But the fever was there for a reason. It was killing the disease. And the longer you put off the fever, right? The longer you put off that process, the worse the disease is going to get. And the worse it's going to be when you can no longer put off the cure anymore. Right? And that's the beautiful thing about this Reddit thing. This is what you might call a market correction, right? Because it's bad business to shortchange a company 140%. That's a bad idea. That's a huge gamble. And you need to be kicked in the teeth to let you know, hey, that's a bad thing. You shouldn't do that. And to let everybody else in the future know that's a bad investment and you shouldn't be doing that. That's what this Reddit thing is. In the grand scheme of things, it's a market correction. It's the market regulating itself. This is what that looks like, right? Because shortchanging 140%, that's shortchanging is a sleazy business as it is. The biggest problem, however, is when you have these giant Wall Street firms that are so large and so powerful that they by buying and selling these stocks, they can manipulate the price simply by that, right? So they borrow all this stock and sell it a whole lot, and the price drops precipitously, which is exactly what they want to happen because they want to buy it back at a lower price, right? So what Reddit is doing is they're countering that. They're regulating that. They're saying, hey, that's a bad idea. It's a bad investment, and we're going to make you pay for it.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah. But here's the kind of the it's not a counter argument. It's kind of a supplemental is the fact that what happened with Reddit and GameStop and Melvin Capital and then all of the other hedge funds that rushed to Melvin's defense, it wasn't necessarily just a market correction, because a lot of what the Reddit people did, they didn't do because they valued GameStop stock as a commodity. They did it out of spite. And that's not necessarily a market correction so much as it is weaponizing the market, crowdsourced weaponization of the market. Now, we've seen these sorts of things before in the past. I forget the two guys' names. I just remembered them a little bit ago, and then they just escaped me. But it was two guys, two billionaires. One of them decided to short on, I think it was like Bed Bath and Beyond or something. And then another billionaire who just didn't like the guy was like, no, I'm going to buy up a bunch of Bed Bath and Beyond stock and drive the price up just to screw with this guy. And he did it. So what we're seeing now is, rather than like a one billionaire versus another or one hedge fund versus another, you're seeing a mass coordinated effort of a lot of people on a social media site versus a hedge fund. And that type of weaponization, I talked to Sam Culper about this on Friday. We're about half a second away from people realizing that if things stay the way that they are, they can realistically do this to anyone.
If you enjoyed this video and would like to see more, please subscribe to the Think Liberty Network on your favorite podcasting app, or follow Roads to Liberty on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, MeWe, or at roads2liberty.com.